interesting. What makes someone successful in the business in network marketing? So, is it how driven they are? Is it how open they are? Is it how coachable they are? Or is it a strong why which makes them be successful?
I think a strong why. If you have a strong why, but you need to be coachable.
But a strong why is also. I know a lot of people. They have stronger whys, which I could take maybe, but they don't do anything.
But then is the why strong?
It's strong for me, but not for them. So.
No. But I mean that I don't mean the why they say they have, or we think they have. The why they really have. That expectation shows up in behavior.
True.
If they really have expectation to do something, then they will do it. If they don't do it, but I want, no, you don't want.
Or not bad enough.
no. At the moment now, you are not ready to do it. You want it here, but you are not ready to do it. And maybe that change tomorrow, don't know. But today, because you don't do it, means you don't want to do it. You think you want to, because you're not comfortable with the situation. So you start to feel you're comfortable with the situation on one level. But on one level, you realize that you have seen above the fence that people are happy on the outside. So the problem is when you see above the fence, people are happy, they're playing football, and you are inside walking around. When you realize there's something out there, then it doesn't feel good. You're comfortable inside on one level, but you also.
What can make the biggest difference in people's life if they start with Flavon right now? Or let's leave the biggest out. What's the difference? Because it's not always the biggest.
Yeah, that they are in control over their life. That they suddenly, even if they don't have the best situation right now economically and so on, but if they suddenly realize, whoa, I can change my life to what I want, that's the biggest realization of all. Because when people realize that, they are not a victim anymore.
So they are in charge.
Yes.
They are in charge about their lives.
Yeah.
And for me as well, also they can also change other people's life.
Yeah.
Because it's also right behind this. So you are an example. A lot of people are just paying attention on you, especially if you talk to them about the business. It's very, very interesting to see that if you talk to someone about Flavon and after a year, even though if they just be customers or not even, they paying attention. How do you live and how much success you have.
They know it. They hear it and they see it. That's how it is. And we often talk about this ripple effect of what you do. And we say that all of us are in the epicenter of our business. So we say that the bigger splash you make in the water, the further the rings go. And what many people do, they take a little stone, throw it in the water, and it becomes small rings. Of course it becomes a ripple effect, but not big. But if you do the biggest splash you can, then the rings, you get big rings. And that's how you reach the deep levels in the business. And so it starts with us.
How big effect can someone count? So if I'm someone who just think about starting the Flavon business right now, how big effect can I fulfill to my neighborhood, to my country, to maybe to Europe, or maybe also to bigger one? How do you see that?
It's like an atom bomb. I mean, most
for the friendly way.
Yeah. Most of us, the problem we have, all of us have, we are not close to our potential. We are, even the big producers, they are very far from their potential. So it's not about what we can do; it's about what we are willing to do. Because if you do everything you can in Flavon, if you give 100%, it will explode. You will double the company with your team. Because that's because most people don't have this kind of drive. They when the neighbor says no or laughing at them, they feel down and they give up the dream. That's the kind of level most people are at. But someone that we know leaders through the history for countries and different organizations that have big belief, even if it was crazy ideas. If they believe strong enough, people will follow. First of all, you need to do something that you really enjoy doing. And sometimes we have an idea how to start a business will be like. Then when you're in the business, you don't run the business runs you, and all of kind of different things. So it's.
It sounds like to me. It sounds like to me like you had some experience like this.
Absolutely. The thing is that when you're used to fly around like an eagle, then it's difficult to run around like a turkey on the ground.
Okay.
So that's we were used to in this lifestyle. You don't have any special requirements. I mean, you don't need to be in a certain place at a certain time. If you don't want to work with someone, you don't have to. And the country and everything. So the freedom in this business is difficult to find somewhere else. We don't have responsibility over the manufacturing, over the delivering of products. It's as a member, that's not our job. No, it's important to be consistent. I mean, it's no idea to push for 1 week and then not do anything for 3 weeks. It's consistency. But what's good with making a push is that you create this extra energy in a short period of time. You push 1 month, you push a few weeks, then you continue, but maybe don't do the same push. But it's important, don't do the push and then don't do anything, because that it's like when you're taking a bath. The hotter the bath is, the colder it gets when you come out.
True.
So that's
true. And I also realized lately that if you make a change in people's life, or if we talk about countries, because I've seen a couple leaders in your team in different countries, and if you do a push, they don't fall down to where they started. So even if after a push it's not the same level, but it's still higher than it was before. So I very much believe always make the minimum level higher and higher.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the network. It takes time to build to reach income. That's one thing. People say, "Oh, I have this income," or "You have this income." That's one thing. But how do you get the income? If you look at the facts, do you have a stable business that give you this income no matter what you do, or do you work very hard? In the beginning, you work for your income, of course, more. But in the long run, you need to work less for the same income. But of course, if you want to boost the business, you need to put your energy in. But this is very important. It's easy to look at the income, but how do you? I mean, I know people earning a lot of money in different. They have companies and they have good jobs, but what do they have to do?